What can people who are interested in erotic power play learn from anarchists, and what can anarchists learn from them? I'm here with Andy Izenson, um, and I'm Kathy Bartoli from the intimacydojo.com. And Andy, you're going to be talking about No Daddies, No Masters, DS, and power play as anarchists and access intimacy at Woodhull Sexual Freedom Summit, which I love. It's a very interesting topic. And I think power dynamics is such a key topic right now in general. And I'm really curious, how are you, I'm not super geeky, but my understanding was like, isn't BDSM very hierarchical and you're supposed to have power dynamics? Like, how do you play with that? I'm really curious.
Well, hi Kathy. I'm really glad to be doing this with you, I'm very excited to be talking about this stuff at Woodhull, because it's something that I spend a lot of time recreationally talking about, and talking about with my partners and friends, and trying to figure out, what does it look like to be engaging with power in our personal lives and in the world in the way that we do. And how do we do that in a way that's ethical, that's consistent with our politics, and that also is a good time for everyone involved. And when we're dealing with relational power in interpersonal relationships, there's a lot of power going in a lot of different directions at all times.
There's society, there's political, it's that's one of the complexities of it for me. Like when I'm trying to figure out how much power I have in a given situation, I don't know what the other person's perception is, and like where are we all playing? So, sorry, just like
absolutely,
it's very nuanced,
and it's never one directional, and it's never linear. So I think a lot of people like to try to simplify the conversation about power and say, well, this person has more privilege than that person, and so that person and so has to listen to them and obey whatever they say. And try to make it this very simple of like who has the authority, who's in charge. And who needs to sit down and shut up. And I'm really interested in complicating that idea, because none of the ideas of power and privilege, as they were actually initially posited, have ever been that simple. And it's really appealing to try to make them simple in that way, because it sure would be nice if the world were a simple place.
Did you share why did you choose Woodhull for sharing this topic? It's a great topic. I'm excited about it.
I've been going to Woodhull since 2010, I think, and I have a lot of affection for it. I think it's a really lovely interdisciplinary group that is diverse in specific ways that I don't often see. And so in those specific types of diverse. Now I'm not to say that the group is always diverse in the colloquial understanding of the word, because it is, it does tend to skew white. It tends to skew in a certain age bracket. It tends to skew, in a certain income bracket. Like, that's not what I mean when I say diverse, but rather that often we find ourselves talking to the same group of people about the same stuff. And Woodhull is different people than I'm usually talking to about this stuff. And I like that. And I find that it's a really receptive place to try out new things. So this panel that we're doing, it's me and Rue Khan and Kate Diadamo and Ida Mandalay.
I know Ida. Yeah, it's great. It's gonna.
And we've never done this panel before. This is the first time. And we were just, we were a bunch of us were, I want to say, creating change or something. We do the circuit, and we were hanging out and drinking in our hotel room and yelling about this stuff, yelling about how how the idea of intentional power play gets so co-opted by people who are in positions of hegemonic power, and that it's such a different thing when it's done in a liberation-oriented way, and how we were so mad that no one paid attention to that. And we were like, shit, let's go to Woodhull and talk about it.
That's wonderful. Thank you for putting this together. This is very even as somebody who's not kinky, I'm like, this is going to be such a great talk, and I can't wait to hear it.
I gotta tell you, I don't think you have to be. So when we talk about kinky as an identity, I feel like it gets really narrowed.
That's
and
true.
People think if I don't get off on like being hit with a bat, that means I'm not a kinky person.
Yeah.
I don't actually think you have to be a kinky person in that particular way to benefit from having intentional power relationships.
Yeah, and I can see that, because I guess I do. I make kinky mean a certain narrow thing, but I do like that someone tells me, okay, I'm in charge now, and we're going to play with that, or I can be in charge for a while. And
like, if you can imagine someone coming to you and saying, okay, so for the next hour, I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to make sure that you're safe, and I'm going to hold you in not just a physical way, but my spirit is going to hold your spirit, and you don't have to be scared for the next hour.
That's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. I would never have thought of that as being in that play, but I can definitely see that.
That's what I mean when I say power play, is finding ways of holding each other that we can actually take in.
That's beautiful. Andy, thank you so much. I so appreciate your generosity. And if you're watching this, please sign up for Woodhull and come and see Andy and Ida and Rue. And who else was it? I'm sorry.
Kate Diadamo.
Yeah, it's going to be a great talk. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you, Kathy. I'll talk to you soon.